Happy holidays wherever you are. Hope you're enjoying the Christmas festivities and the New Year festivities wherever you are. Welcome to Backyard Farms. Maybe in the year 2022, one of your resolutions, one of the things that you want to do is to have your own small poultry farm, to have your own self sustaining backyard farm, and you're asking yourself, what should I do? What are the steps that I should take? This is the best place for you to learn, and this is the best time for you to learn. So first of all, like this video. Second of all, subscribe to this channel. Third of all, share this video to your like-minded friends, and let's learn together how best we as poultry farmers, how best we as people who want self-sustaining food sources, who want organic sources of food, sources of eggs, sources of meat, can get these sources, can get these feeds, can get this food at our table, at our convenience. First of all, you have to have a proper house, because no matter what you do, without a proper house, a house that is properly ventilated, you cannot have a very good poultry project. Your house has to be properly ventilated. Your house to be properly partitioned, so that your poultry or your chicken do not group together, so that they have sufficient space in which to interact with each other, and ensure that you do not place chicken or poultry of different ages together, because this will just lead to pecking, which is a vice in poultry, and this pecking will lead to some of your poultry not achieving their meat targets, their weight targets, or not giving you eggs as they could have done if they had been in places where there is no pecking. So ensure that you place only poultry of a certain age together. Group them, as you can see in this video. The chicken house has been grouped, where we have chicken of different age groups. They are grouped together, and then ensure that you provide sufficient feeds. As you can see in the video, there are feeds that are being provided for the poultry. Ensure that your poultry do not starve, because once you starve your poultry, once you starve your animals, may be cows or goats, or in this case poultry, the poultry will not give you the required returns. So ensure that they have enough feeds, and the feeds should be the best quality feeds, because you find that there are few farmers who provide feeds that are substandard, that are of a low standard, and you expect to harvest, you expect your poultry to gain weight at the required rate. That won't happen. Your poultry will be susceptible to diseases, because their immune system will not develop. So from a young age, ensure that you provide proper quality feeds, and then when you have your animals, ensure that you have sufficient feeds and sufficient feeders, so that your animals or your poultry do not scramble for feeds, because scrambling, as we know, that the strong are always favored. So the poultry or your poultry that are weak will always not have any feeds. They will not have any water, and therefore they will not gain weight. So ensure that you have sufficient feeds. Ensure that the straw or sawdust that you place at the bottom of your house, ensure that you have sufficient straw. Do not just place a very little straw on your floor, maybe because of course. It's better for you to provide straw that can go for a whole year, so that you do not have to be each time removing straw and cleaning. Because if you place straw, let's say in terms of centimeters, like 60 to 80 centimeters of straw, that will serve you for close to a whole year. You will not have to be removing your straw, because the straw, once your droppings, the chickens have droppings on the straw, the droppings will just be going down. They'll be as the finer or the final straw comes up. No, no. That's what will happen. And again, ensure that your birds, when you have cocks, ensure that cocks are not, when you are partitioning, when there is partition, ensure that you do not place adult cocks or mature cocks together, because that will lead to conflict, that will lead to fights. Ensure that you separate your cocks. And also, fights between cocks, they lead to stress in your animals. And when your animals are stressed, when your poultry are stressed, therefore, that means that they will not lay eggs at the required rate. It means that your cocks will not gain weight at the required rate. So ensure that you minimize conflict by making sure that one cock is serving at least 10 hens. No, if you do that, then there will be no conflict. You can have as many cocks as you want, so long as there is sufficient space. So one cock should be serving at least 10 hens. So for one cock, you should be having 10 hens. And again, another thing, ensure that your poultry have access to clean water. Because if you do not provide them with clean water, if you do not provide clean and quality water, your poultry will be susceptible to diseases like chicken cholera, that's caused by dirty drinkers, that's caused by dirty water, chicken typhoid, that's a very deadly disease. So ensure that your poultry have access to very clean and quality water for you to achieve success as a poultry farmer. Those are some of the things that we as farmers should do. And then another thing, ensure that your house is ventilated, properly ventilated, so that there is sufficient circulation of air. Circulation of air will mean that you'll have very few airborne diseases, very few diseases between your poultry. And then ensure that you have a very small partition or a very good partition that you'll be placing sick and injured birds. Ensure that you have that place that's far away, it's a distance from your main flock. That's where you can place your sick and injured birds. That will ensure that the birds that are sick do not mingle with the birds that are healthy, and therefore you will reduce the rate at which your other healthy birds can get sick. So ensure that you have a partition, and ensure that you provide them with very quality drugs when they are sick. Ensure that you administer vaccines as the schedule prescribes. Ensure that you have that. And once you do that as a poultry farmer, there's no way 2023 won't be a successful year for you as a bucket farm. So this video is to encourage you. Maybe this year you had a few challenges in your poultry farm. The idea is not to give up, because once you give up, then the dream is done. The dream is dead. The idea is not to give up. The idea is to improve. The idea is to gain enough knowledge. And next year, you try again. So next year, try again. Next year, try and achieve this. Next year, try and do what we have discussed in this video, and success will be yours as a poultry farmer. So I'm wishing you a very beautiful 2023 as farmers, and please do not forget to farm, because when you forget to farm, then you forget to live, because without farming, what will be we be doing? Thank you, and I'm wishing you a blessed new year. Thank you again.